Welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host, Mike, and with me I have Kage. Kage, how you doing?
Doing good. You?
Good. We got a decent show planned for you today. Like the comments in here. I liked all the comments that the listeners left before from last week's show, feedback, and also what they thought about the last stocks we covered. Like and subscribe to the show. We'd love to see you guys in there and your comments to help the new traders become more knowledgeable in these stocks. One of the first stocks we're going to talk about tonight is NURO. NURO Metrics Incorporated. The first last tick we had on this was $3.29. After hours volume, Kage was up 46 cents. Going to the year-to-date chart, obviously you have your 2021 December, and then you have your dive off. But this chart looks decently healthy considering where we're at in the crapper tank going downward economy there. Going into what would you say they do here? Looks like on here, the NutriMix engages in development and manufacture of diagnostic and therapeutic neuromodulation-based medical devices. It focuses on the sale of medical equipment and consumables. Its products includes the DNP Check Quell Advanced System. The company was founded by Shai Gonzai in 1996 and is headquartered in Woburn, Massachusetts. If I butchered the name, I apologize, can't get them all right. Going on to stock twits, Kage, because that's where the real traders are at. What do you have on the twits?
I'm seeing some bulls here for this stock. I haven't run into any bears as of yet. How about this take from Selfish Clam? He says, NURO bullish. So what is the due diligence on this? Any catalyst or news on this or coming up? Any links or answers would be appreciated. Thanks.
So this is one of the most popular stocks talked about right now. One of the most popular boards and stocks talked about. No one's posted any links or news. I have something from Cision. This was 18 hours ago. It says the market size to grow the U.S. to date, $4.59 billion. Majority share growth to originate from North America, Technavo. The application devices and cognitive devices, the geography of North America, Asia, and the rest of the world. Forecast analysis for 2022-2026 report have added Technavio's offering. The potential growth difference from neuroprosthetic market size between 2021 and 2026 is $4.59 billion. Okay, so some of the takes I'm going to give you on this, Kage, and to the listeners out there is that with this, you're probably, the reason why you're seeing some of this pop in the news is you're starting to see other investors going into other types of investments and going into biopharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals and things like that because they're going to try to hit the safer market. They want to take their money and move to a different spot besides some of these other risque types of moves. What else do you have on the twits?
How about this one from AWIII? He says, NURO bullish. Damn, the first one pumper to pump NURO page already shut down. Anytime you see comments that look like this with a tag, you better pay attention. He's got a link to a comment from Apollo Resurrected who said, all eyes on NURO. It could be the next 300% parabolic nano float runner. NURO has been trending a lot of influencers and traders on it. If you ever watched to be early in parabolic run, watch NURO. Better to be early.
So he says we should have a red flag on that comment then, or?
I think so.
Yeah, but that's just. I think we've seen Apollo before. I don't think Apollo has his pom-poms out with the stock. I think he's excited about what is. I don't think he's trying to manipulate or anything like that. A lot of people, there's some people on the boards that think that there are people excited about it, but not everybody's a troll. You know what I mean? Or has, everybody has their own, as far as interest in the stock. But there's some people that really like what they trade and they're into it. I mean, that's possible. I have seen Apollo's comments before. So I don't know about that one. What do you think?
I'm not going to take sides one way or the other with that. with
No,
those people. I mean, I'm just gonna tell them be positive and don't necessarily give the middle finger to anybody right now.
yeah, so it is what it is. We'll see what happens, how it plays out. I guess we'll see who has the last laugh, and this show will be the receipts for those comments. Regional analysis: North America will account for 41% of market growth during the forecast period. This growth is attributed to factors such as high incidence of neurological diseases. U.S. and Canada are in key countries of neuro prosthetics market in North America. Moreover, market growth as in this region has started faster than the growth of the market in other regions. Market drivers: the increase of prevalence of neurological disorders in driving growth of the market. I probably don't want to go into this, Kage, but what do you think some of the increase of neurological disorders could be?
Probably due to people still obsessing over a certain president.
That, I mean, that's some things, but I mean, there's other things out there that we can't mention on the show. Some of it could be some of the as far as the dangerous drugs that are out there. That could be increased that, and we did see a higher drug use during that time.
Can you believe these people that I saw some of the stuff that was being put out on the news, and they say that there's some fentanyl being disguised as Skittles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's all these, there's all this you know, all this fentanyl mixed with, like, they're trying to get the kids and everything, and I think, and a lot of it's knocking people out, and I think people are just turning to other things, and it's making a lot of this stuff messes with your head. It's not good. I'm not saying that's the only thing, but you have a combination of everything that's just the food, there's bad food, dirty water, everything. It's just it's a bad combination for the head. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Yeah, you just need to have a clear head.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a clear head,
what we say
don't
without
really have
messing with the
anything.
censors and things like that too, guys. We're trying to tell you as we see it, but certain stuff we can't say on the program just because of the whole, you know, maybe someday we'll get a change with that, hopefully, and everybody can have free speech, but it is what it is. Neurological disorders such as MS affect spinal cord and the brain. MS is prevalent into countries such as New Zealand, Australia, Canada, France, Norway, Germany, and the US. Such diseases have a symptom of blurred vision, weakness, tingling of the muscles. The adaptation of neuro prosthetic technologies such as CSS, DBS, vagus, and nerve systems, and VNS, our sacral cord, is growing in developed countries such as Canada, US, and Australia. It says the highest cost of neurotech products is a challenging for the market growth of prosthetic limbs. The coverage is a higher dependent amputation level with the physical condition of patients. So if you're seeing an increase in this, and everybody and you're seeing all the different things they have in their pipelines, which I can go to, Kage, it's safe to assume that this is something that possibly you want to put on your watch list and take a look at, just because of all the things they got in the hopper. And as far as the rising, I'm not saying you need to be advantageous as far as taking advantage of problems, but is this gonna be possibly something to look at, a safer bet, and people are gravitating towards this because they see the numbers here, or am I just being too optimistic about this stock?
Not entirely sure, but as far as where everything else is right now, this is actually not too bad for where it's at right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything was been slowly bleeding out with looking at the chart for this stock, but
Mm-hmm.
it looks to be on the up.
Well, what
now.
else do you have on the twits? What is everybody else saying besides a couple people criticizing comments?
How about this one? There's a bear here, but he doesn't necessarily
throw
have
the bears
a,
out, because, like I said,
he doesn't necessarily have a have his chart in the twits chart in the comments, but he says
fine.
this.
None of that. You know what? None of that matters, because you're not carrying the cooler only for good comments. You're for the stock.
Yeah, his name is Slack-Jawed Yokel.
Oh, seems like he watched a lot of what is it, Predator then, maybe, or what? Okay, going on to stock twits, because that's where the real traders are at. What do you have on the twits?
I've got this one comment from an interesting individual. His name is Slack-Jawed Yokel.
So it looks like he listens to he's watched Predator then before, huh? He's Jesse Ventura.
I don't blame him. There's a lot of quotes in that movie that are actually really iconic, and I actually like that movie.
Yeah, so. Good show.
Anyway, he says, NURO, bearish. Even with a dead cat bounce, this trash is down 84% in 5 years. But go ahead and FOMO. What could go wrong? I mean, it's only worldwide recession and potentially World War III. Load up.
So apparently, the dead cat bounce is getting all popular there. Everybody keeps on throwing that around. Unfortunately, the comment, he is right. So, I mean, there's just a bunch of foolish moves being done in places. He does bring his receipts with the 5 years, but they do have a lot of things in the pipe. So I'm covering guys with you both sides. We're covering someone that, you have to be cautious with these dead cat bounces. The alphabet media is going to tell you guys all the time to load up on these things and everything because they want you to buy because they're trying to protect their buddies on the street or whatever you guys want to call them. I don't know. Going on to the pipeline, what they have, and you guys could give your takes on this. They have painful diabetic neuropathy. They're in the pilot stage of that. The biggest one they have Q4 is fibromyalgia, chemotherapy-induced peripheral neuropathy, chronic low back pain. Now, one thing I'm going to cover there, again, he did mention to be, fair and balanced, and no, this isn't fixed news or anything like that, thankfully. You have to say that some of these stocks, like look at Neurovax, I'm going to mention that one again. Is it $5 before 3 years before the pandemic? And then magically in 2021 and 2020, it goes up to way ridiculous. I think it was like over $100 a share, isn't it now? It was at the time and was before at like $4 to $5. And wasn't there somebody again that I told you on the program that had that? Do we recall a member of the show that actually had that stock and shorted it?
Who had it, dude?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Just to make a couple beans.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yep.
But
I got trolled. I got trolled for taking an L on the show.
When was that, though?
Huh?
When though? When did you have it?
I had it in 2018 or 2017, 2019, somewhere around there. Back and forth, on and off.
Yeah, that was a while ago, dude.
Yeah, it was a while ago, and I had the cheap seats, and guess what? I shorted it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, I made like $200 or $300 or whatever a couple times." And yeah, I eventually shorted out and didn't wait around. And guess what happened? So you have to. Some of these things take patience. You have lower back pain in the hopper here. You have post-acute. I can't even pronounce that. COVID-19 long right there. Chronic overlapping pain conditions, neuropathic optimum spectrum disorders, restless leg syndrome. So you have all those things. They're one's in pivotal trial, the chemotherapy-induced neuropathy there. That's in complete enrollment. So these kind of stocks have time to play out. This is one of the top movers. What do you guys have to say on this one before we move on?
They do they do lower back pain or what?
Sorry, I missed that. I'll call you. Hog, what were you saying?
What do they? You said they do lower back pain too, or what?
They do lower back pain. They're in the pilot studies of that one. So
yeah, well,
if that gets to the authorization point, so you have to have the pivotal trial, and then you have to have the regular authorization. When you get to those certain points, you're riding the news waves. You have several things down in here that's gonna that possibly you could ride the news waves to get gains and things like that. So you could gain that back, even though he said, yeah, you were higher up before. But if you go through these trials and things like that, you're going to hit news gains and things like that. So, but you also have your market correction, which we were talking about before, which I do agree with the guy that a lot of this stuff is heavily overbought and it's overpriced. Not saying this one is, I'm saying other stocks out there. Kamea, what were you saying?
A job for the job, a joint for the job. Get rid of the back pain.
That would help. So they do have that program that is available in some states and some cities at a county near you. That is the joint for the jab. So that program was out there.
Yeah.
Did Kage do the joint for the jab or no?
No, I did not. I did not jump for the
Oh, I thought
jab.
you did.
No.
Oh, no joint for the jab or free burgers and fries or ice cream?
I thought you were on like
No,
booster number 5.
I just didn't like it. I just didn't like what they were offering. So
Yeah, sounds good. Well, what other comments you got? You like there on the twits there that you got?
how about this one from, I think that was called Superwoman, I think. It's the Wonder Woman.
Okay.
She says, what a great week. Small caps were hot, and hopefully they continue to be so far a few more months. Loaded all my accounts with NURO shares during that shakeoff dip after 4 p.m. today. Can't wait for Monday.
What's on Monday? Just another hot trading day on Monday he's got, or
I
what?
guess so.
Today is Friday, and you can speed on the highway.
Today is Skilo Friday, and you could even speed on the highway. Yes, it was. There was lots of speeders on the highway. Definitely for sure.
Yeah, just why? What are people trying to prove, that their engine is bigger or something, and they're racing other drivers? What?
I think it's booze and boats, and it just doesn't mix, and pills now too, apparently. So I think that's some of it. Everything's coming. Everybody's just into everything, and they get on the road, and it is not good out there. So, anyways, so what else? What else you got in there? Any relevant takes there on there?
How about this one from Chairman 77?
The chairman,
NURO.
is that like G on there too now, or what?
No. Actually, he was actually commenting on another taker from.
Oh, I thought we had the president of China on there, the freaking ruler for life. I didn't know that. Soon to be, right?
How
Anyway,
about this one from Rainer 55? He says, NURO bullish, going all in this dip, F it. And he's got a GIF of a gambler. I think it was from the poker tournaments or something, saying, I'm all in.
Well, if you can get it on the cheap seats, it is what it is there. So going on to the next stock, cue it up there. I know this is going to be a Cameo favorite right here. He's talked about this before, and Kage and Hog, you have talked about this one before many times. It's popping again. The chart for a sub, now this is a sub, it's a little risque here. If you're new out there, anything above $1, or sorry, below $1, you want to be careful and watch your wallet there. So just a word to the warning there. If you're new, this is not something you're going to want to jump into and spend the farm or anything like that. So word of warning. Ricky Gutierrez's rule of trading is, if you're new, never trade under $1. Or trade at all unless you do paper trading first if you don't know what you're doing. AZFL, Amazonas Florestal Ltd. Last tick was 0.004. Going to the chart, like I said, for a sub, the chart looks good. They had this. Some of these spikes right here are due to, and why we're seeing a spike in the marijuana stocks is that I guess the Dems are trying to curry favor because they're getting their butts kicked in not primaries, in the in some of the polls, but this isn't an election show and this isn't election talk. So, but they're trying to reel in some support and get the base rallied. And so you're starting to see cannabis stocks starting to spike again. This happens when news breaks, because that's what stocks are all about. They ride on news breaks. Amazonas Florestal engages in the timber activities. It says it operates in the Brazilian forest. The company was founded in December 18, 2008. And is headquartered in the Free State in city of Miami, Florida. Going on to stock twits, Kage, because that's where the real traders are at. What do you have on the twits?
Fuzzy Navel. He says.
Fuzzy Navel, huh?
Yeah, Fuzzy
great,
Navel. He says AZFL. Totally tempted to add another few million shares at these prices. Added 1 million last week and maybe another 2 million today if I can free up the cash elsewhere.
What happened there, Camille?
Well, guys, he's all in. He ain't messing around.
No, he's not. He ain't messing around. This stuff is so cheap, but the problem is that it's risque. You can lose your shorts, but like I said, if you got monopoly money to burn, then you do what you do. So I have no news on this. So I'm relying on you, Kage, unless I'm going to go on there and look for some news articles that someone's posted, because the alphabets are not carrying this. This is everything. All the momentum carried here is all by retail traders and regular traders. The traders we like are the retail traders. Unless I could find some news on the website there. What do you have on the twits?
How about this one from AZFL? This is a bearish take. This is from Chain Gusto. He says, Ricky Ricardo, where you at, bruv? A+ on
Ricky
your work as
Ricardo?
CEO.
I left him at home.
Back in gut, yet living the American dream, living off the gringos who were dumb enough to burn their cash on your money laundering dilution scheme. How's your boy Ray?
That might be the best take we've heard in a while there, huh, guys?
Yeah, I left Ricky Ricardo at home with Rico Suave.
Yeah, that's a good song too. Looks like they have Green America concentrated bulk products. I'm just going to read from the site there, because see if you can find me some news articles, Kage, where I'm reading about the products, because I got no news on this at all. Highest quality premium.
There's some Twitter. There's a Twitter link here from this comment.
On Twitter, pated.
Yeah, it says Tikal Dreams, AZFL on Twitter. Tikal Dreams is currently processing the legal permit to sell CBD Delta products with the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. They will visit our offices in Miami and will review our products soon. And I think this take was on the 19th of September, I think. For
how much is each share right now?
This thing's been floating around. What did we say it was?
The share price right now is 0.0001, I think.
Okay, so it's a cent there. So,
maybe I'll go buy 3 million shares too.
It's a lottery ticket. So you're hoping.
Right. I mean,
yeah,
I spent $3 to win the freaking Mega Million. Doesn't mean I'm gonna win it.
Yeah, exactly. So this is basically a lottery ticket if you're gonna look at it. I mean, any of the subs are so, but they do come through, and sometimes they don't, and sometimes it takes years. You'll look at your portfolio and you'll be like, "Holy crap! I didn't even know I had that." I've had that sometimes where I didn't even know some of the stuff I have. Pretty bad, huh? So they have the crude oil tea-free distillates, 99.9% in pure crystallized isolates. The first major hemp processor in South Florida. Green Labs GAL is set to become the first major purchaser of hemp biomass in South Florida. We will operate the most advanced extraction equipment made today with sterile lab environment and process premium concentrations of THC-free cannabinoids and terpenes that are sold bulk quantities in labs, brand confectionaries, and that are not extraction capabilities require concentrates of legal cannabinoids in their formula. They have the crude black CBD crude oil. They have the Florida Maui Wowie. Just kidding. They don't have the Florida Maui Wowie.
The Maui Wowie?
Yeah. You like that, Hog? Do you like the Florida Maui Wowie? Or is Hog like the Dirty Lake Hog Maui Wowie? Or he's got the Florida Pure White Isolates. A few facts about the upcoming laboratory. The Green Labs is setting up for operations for Miami, Florida, only minutes from downtown Miami. Full details and account on Twitter. The winning team, they're hiring experience. There's a job for people if you don't have a job right now, and you, I think there might be some good benefits there, huh, Camille?
Hog went to sleep.
Yeah, I was just saying that. How about you, Camille? You think there's any good benefits joining the winning team? I think you'd win every day, wouldn't you, working for them? Camille? Oh, Camille! He's out too, right? What else do you got on the twits, Goggin?
How about this one from Jar Jar Stonks? Interesting name.
Yeah.
His take is live shot of me cursing the management of this company for burning my cash. Hope you all got out while you could. And it's got a clip of a GIF of Chucky, I think, with and Child's Play,
That's funny, man.
doing it like an exorcism or something like that.
Is this thing still going right now? It says, did Joe Biden just save the cannabis stocks? Yeah, he did. So let's look at that article. That just who posted that? That was you glossed over that one, huh, Kage? That was on the Motley Fool. It says, did Joe Biden just save cannabis stocks? That was an important article there. Let's see here.
Well, I kind of glossed over that because honestly, I don't trust anything that comes out of that rancid pie hole he calls a mouth.
Well, the thing is that you cover both sides of the thing, so people get a take of what the alphabets are saying and corporate media, and then you get what the retail traders are saying. So you get both mixes, so you know how to go battle against the people that want to do harm to you. The big news Thursday came to the cannabis sector, where marijuana stocks soared after a long-awaited announcement from the outhouse. Yet the major cannabis companies saw their shares of prices climb. The fundamental challenges of the businesses faced to remain the same. Investors will see that giant cannabis can overcome the challenges in order to see lasting returns on their investments. Kage and Kameo, do you see, is this just another bribe to get votes and things like that for all the, I mean, it's good for shareholders of marijuana stocks, but is this just another bribe off or what?
I think it's just a carrot they're trying to hold out in front of our noses, hoping that we'll bite. But honestly, I don't really think the carrot is going to be worth it.
Yeah, it's the economy.
They're sticking out.
Yeah, it's the economy, stupid. That's all people care about is how much they're putting in their tank and how much the grocery bill is. People would like to save for retirement, not save for the gas man and for the grocery man. What do you got there, Cameo? Did Cameo?
I think we lost them both.
I think we lost Cameo.
We lost them both.
We lost Cameo in the mountains. And the last White House secretary will ask Health and Human Services to look more closer on how marijuana is scheduled a controlled substance under federal law, presuming the idea of either removing it completely or at least moving the last category, particularly marijuana stocks soared. Good for the marijuana stocks. That's great. Go back and check the portfolios. Make sure you don't have anything hiding in there that you forgot you had. Marijuana investors had hoped the federal government would legalize cannabis, even though Washington tactically allowed states to choose whether marijuana for medical or recreational purposes, and their own borders. Investors remain uncomfortable with the conflict of laws at federal state levels. Aligning federal law with current treatment of marijuana will raise certainty and will almost make certain aspects of operating cannabis-related businesses easier, areas like banking. Yet cannabis fans shouldn't get ahead of themselves. It's entirely possible that a federal legalization of marijuana will still allow states to have laws to the contrary, which would mean current patchwork of states and legal cannabis would stay in place, because we do not have a king or an oligarchy. We technically do, and we technically don't. So powers within the states, and the states decide their own fate. It is that way of the law. But we'll see what the people decide and things like that and how they go. What do you have on the twits? Anything else?
How about this one from Tenroy? He says, what's going on with AZFL? What is going on with this company? Where are the permits approved? Did Tikal Dream launch? What's the story here?
Cameo, I was going to get your comment in on this. Do you think, I was just covering about jokes. They were trying to, with the comment I mentioned about the outhouse and freaking this article here says, did Joe Biden just save the cannabis stocks with the federal legalization they're trying to do that there? What's your take on that? Is this just another bribe, or do you think it's not going to move a needle anywhere with anybody because people are pissed off that they're spending more money for groceries and they're paying more money for gas instead of saving retirement or wanting to buy toys and things like that? What would you say?
Well, the problem is in this day and time, there's not going to be no retirement, and there's going to be no saving any money, because that's what society wants you to do.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like this younger generation is facing all this stuff because they're promised all this free shit and they believe it, and there's nothing free in this world.
No. And that's the choice you're going to have to make. Do you want to be do you want to be lower than a Russian serf, or do you want these guys to try to give you candy canes all the time and try to give you? They say they're going to give you freebies all the time and things like that, and you keep listening to these kind of jokers on both sides, and you're going to be less off than a Russian serf, and you're going to be close to a peasant because you will not own anything and you will not have anything, and that is the case if you believe in the freebie land. So the money doesn't grow on trees. So that's all I'm just going to tell you. So, and no, there's not an Uncle Samsonite that hands out free money all the time. It's not free. So eventually,
there you go. There you go.
Yep. There you go. Here you go. Eventually, you run out of people. You run out of taxpayers and rich people to tax. What do you have on? Or sorry, Kage, what's your take on that tax the rich kind of BS and all that?
The taxing the rich is always not going to work because they're always going to find loopholes to avoid paying. And eventually, when they're not paying and they need results quick, who do they go to? The middle class. They just absolutely wreck it. And to be honest, that doesn't give you any. If they keep doing this, there's eventually not going to be enough upward mobility. It's either you're born into it or you're not.
Yep. Go back to the show
and
a while ago.
There's no way to ascend.
All of us, even Hog and Cameo and Kage, were all called fearmongers less than a year and a half ago, year ago, and where are we at now? And like I told you still, you're at the appetizer before the main event, and you have not seen what is coming to you yet. So prepare for tomorrow by working today, I guess. So anything else you guys want to add on this one?
No, I think we're done with this one. Do you want to go